Betty. What's mine is yours. And what's yours is mine. Chaos soon come.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Real Time for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I am, of course, Josh Williams. Thank you so much for joining me here today, because I am here to give you my real-time review, spoiler-free real-time review of Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Very anticipated movie for me. So excited to talk about this. This movie is directed by Andy Serkis, and it stars Tom Hardy? I mean, some people he probably is hot, but Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, Michelle Williams, and Naomi Harris. Those are the big, most focused on characters. Mostly Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, and Naomi Harris. And also there is a detective in this movie that has a good supporting role. His name is Stephen Graham, so we'll also give him a little shout out there. Very anticipated to talk about this movie, but before we get into that, guys, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, so you can receive all of our great content we provide to you here at Real Time. I know we're a little behind on some videos. Brian is working on some interviews right now, trying to get them up. He just got a brand new job, so he's kind of in the middle of moving, but he has assured me that once things kind of settle down for him, he's going to get those up on the channel. So really excited about those, to get those to you guys. Also, all of our trailer reactions, our movie reviews, and hopefully soon restarting up the movie news segment for Real Time, but with some added upgrades, let's call it that. So that's all neither here nor there. But let's get to talking about this here in just a moment. Again, I'm sorry. I got to give one more last shout out to our sponsors of this review is B&B Missouri 6 Theaters. They were able to help, always be able to hook me up to get you these movie reviews at a decent time, at a quick time. So let's give a brief promotional video for them, and we'll be right back and talk about the review. I'll be right back. B&B Missouri 6 is the premier theater to see a movie if you're in the Missouri area. The refreshments are delicious, the seats give you full reclining comfort, and the movie viewing experience is euphoric. But the main reason I wanted B&B to be my sponsor is their staff and the overall movie-going experience they provide. They're professional, friendly, inviting, and they truly have you leaving the theater feeling, as their motto goes, the magic of the movies. Thank you guys so much for indulging me there. I have to give a shout out to them. Like I said, they're always able to hook me up so I can get you these movie reviews at a decent time, so I can see them at a good time, early time. So now let's talk about Venom: Let There Be Carnage, because I have been. I think you saw in the trailer reaction. I've been a fan of Carnage ever since Maximum Carnage, the video game, and Sega Genesis, and also when he was in the '90s animation Spider-Man. So him and Venom are like my two favorite Spider-Man villains. So seeing them on screen together and actually seeing Carnage for the first time, because we saw Venom before, Tom Hardy hit his iteration, and
ooh, my spider sense is tingling. If you know what I'm talking about.
Whatever. So being able to see them both on screen and look and how they look was just exciting to me. And I will admit, when I first heard that Woody Harrelson was playing him, I was like, I thought it was an interesting choice. I thought maybe go someone a little bit younger, but now after seeing this movie, he is really great. He plays the psycho aspect of Cletus Kasady so well. I mean, just his quirkiness combined with the ability to give off a psycho vibe and actually show a little bit of kind of visceral psycho serial killer tendencies throughout the movie. He was the perfect choice. I will say that. They do go a little bit more into his character more than I thought, but I do wish there was they go into more depth with the character, but it's kind of all surface level in a way. They don't really tackle it like I would hope they would have, because this movie is kind of fast. If I remember right, the runtime of this movie, I can't remember off the top of my head. Here, let me look it up real fast. I thought it would be where that it's about. I say it's almost 2 hours, maybe like an hour and 45 minutes. or so. I can't remember. I apologize. If you know for sure, jump in the comments. Let me know the runtime. But when I saw the movie, I wasn't keeping track or anything. An hour and 37 minutes. There we go. So this is a very fast. It's a very fast-paced movie. It actually, the pacing is really well. I just wish there was more time to flesh out a little more of the characters, and also Naomi Harris's character and their relationship, and what caused her to be where she is, and kind of even more work towards the relationship between them, because there is some time presented to that, but it was all very surface level, if that makes sense. Like the stuff they dive into is very surface level, but it wasn't a lot to grind, to sink your teeth into. But still, regardless of that, that's not really what they were going for this movie. They were going for something more fun, action-packed, kind of balls of the wall, crazy action and comedy and ridiculousness, which I think delivered pretty well, especially what they were going for. And I honestly walked out having a great time with this movie. Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, and Venom, actually, because he voices Venom as well. It's a perfect pairing for Tom Hardy to be Venom, almost like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Like Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and Venom is such a great pairing. And especially it's weird how Tom Hardy is able to create such an amazing, exceptional chemistry between Eddie Brock and Venom, but he does. I don't know how, like, them on screen together it's a fun time. There's a lot of great bantering back and forth, kind of like a dysfunctional marriage in a weird way. And you would have thought they worked through that in the first one, but I wish they would have too, because they had that kind of an issue in the beginning of the first one where they were kind of, Venom wanted to just eat people, and Eddie Brock is kind of a good guy and doesn't want to do that. I thought they may have worked kind of a compromise of that with eating bad guys. But apparently, like you see in the trailer, they kind of go back on that, and so it creates more tension in between for the film to kind of tackle, which I don't know if that was the right choice, but as far as narratively and progressive in the progression of the character, but at the same time, it was still fun to watch. There's a lot of great comedic moments that had me laughing out loud throughout the whole movie. So it's kind of a give and take there of what you're expecting. There's kind of things I can kind of go on and on about, but overall, I had just a great time with this movie. Starting from the beginning to end, there's some things you do notice. Like I said, there's some things that I feel like could have been edited better, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff missing from this movie as far as the editing goes. Like I feel like there's some stuff cut out, and they were trying to cut down to a hour and a half movie, which you don't need to do that. This is a superhero or anti-superhero, however you want to call it, Marvel movie. Make it 2 hours, or make it an hour and 50 minutes, hour and 55. No one's gonna care. People are gonna go to this movie to see it. And especially like when you eventually see Venom versus Carnage, it is so awesome. Like Carnage was everything I wanted him to be and more, along with Woody Harrelson's character of Cletus Kasady. But the actual character Carnage, like how he was created, is very much in line with the comics, and just how he acts. I will say how he acts is very Carnage-like, but I feel like they probably played it back a little more to be PG-13. Because, Carnage in the comics, they do show him killing a lot of people, but it's more like strangling or throwing people. He does cut some people up sometimes in this movie, but it's not as visceral as what it could have been. And I get it. It's PG-13. I get it. You don't want to, you kind of want to make this accessible for, kids to come see that. You can't make it rated R. I get it. But it still would have been cool to see a little more blood and guts, maybe just a little bit. But regardless, like watching them fight on screen was really just a thrill ride from the time Carnage is introduced to when he fights Venom to the very end. Not going to give away, of course, this is a spoiler-free review, but I will say there's even a couple of Easter eggs here that how do I phrase this? There's a couple Easter eggs in the movie that hint towards certain things for the future. I don't want to give away too much. We'll talk about it in the spoiler review, but there's a thing that's said in this movie that made me kind of my ears perk up and like, is this a reason they're dropping this within Marvel and Marvel Studios? Because there's a partnership there. It's no secret, because Spider-Man's with Marvel Studios and so on and so forth. So I don't know. I'll talk about it in the spoiler review. That's all I can really say about it because I don't want to give away too much. Either way, there's some stuff that I had issues with that we talked about. At the end of the day, though, what you're there to see is Carnage and Venom fight, and it has some great great thrills, laughs, and great action. And this movie gives it to you in spades. Very well paced, even though there's some stuff missing from the film. I'm still going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. It was, I don't know, 7.5, 8 out of 10. It's hard to put myself in that, where exactly to put it. Maybe I'll go 7.8. I don't know. Either way, I can really recommend this if you go see this movie. If anything, you'll have fun with this movie, but I know it's out there circulating online. Don't look at it online. Go to the movie to see the end credit scene, because it's funny. Like out of the whole movie, that was the best part of my whole experience, because I kind of had a feeling it was coming, but knowing what was in the contents of that end credit scene just blew my mind, and I'm now really excited for the future, and it's going to be pretty epic, and it just because of what was in it. So I'll talk about that in the spoiler review. Either way, guys, go check it out. You will enjoy your time. I guarantee it. Just, go into it with some expectations that, if you like the first one, you'll like this one. If you didn't like this one, I think you still may like this one, because I feel like it's better than the first Venom, because it does a lot of the things right that it did in the first one, and versus the things they did bad in the first is not really there in the second. So either way, I think you will still have a great time at the movies with shoving some popcorn in your face and having a great time. But that'll do it for me today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. More importantly, what did you think of Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage, or just Venom Let There Be Carnage? Leave your comments in the section below. Give me your positives, your negatives, and your score out of 10. Also, if you like what you watched, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can receive more of our various content in the future. Talked about it before. We got a lot of great stuff here at Real Time. So subscribe, come back, and join in the conversation. But again, I'm Josh Williams, and thank you for keeping it real with Real Time.